One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday in a scalding hot New Jersey where it's 100 degrees. I'm melting by the second. Mr. Tailgate Joe, how are you doing, my friend?
What's going on, Tyson? I'm pretty excited, man. Just trying to get through this summer without, sweating it all out of me and getting ready for the season, man.
Yeah, it's exciting times for Jets. We'll talk about a lot of things tonight. So first of all, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you for everybody who listens on Spreaker, too. I never realized that. Our podcast network definitely appreciate that a lot. So, Joe, before we talk some football, what do you do in the offseason, man? How do you decompress from the Jets, and what do you enjoy?
Well, I have a lot of kind of interests that have changed throughout the years. My currently what I'm into is I bought a bike, bought a Harley 3 years ago, I guess it was. Nice. And so that's been for the last 2 summers, that's been my thing over the summer. Just kind of tinkering with it, modifying it, just doing rides up and down the shore, that type of thing. And then, man, summer, food is my thing with Tailgate Joe, with my fandom, and cooking. The summer is great for me because it's all about being outside, the grill, open fire cooking. So just, getting to do some of that, enjoying that, when I'm not working my 9 to 5, which I've got a whole separate thing away from Tailgate Joe.
You're a busy man, my friend. Now I hear you, dude. It's this is a time to barbecue, enjoy life a little bit, decompress. And then football season, you get extremely busy. So it's kind of enjoy times with friends and family too. It's kind of all right, that little reset button hit.
Yeah. But I sprinkle in a little. I was actually at MetLife last week for the Canada Copa America game. Oh, and nice. I did I was a little tailgate party there for some friends.
Well, you do
12 guys.
Don't you do WrestleMania too? You do all kinds of other stuff, don't you?
WrestleMania has become huge. I started that, so we had WrestleMania at MetLife twice. Right. And, I did a party and I just realized I really dig the vibe, the fan base, the passion. They're like football fans. It's like part of what draws me to my football fandom, right? That interaction with these passionate fans. And they're just at another level, man. And so I realized that I wanted to kind of be a part of this. And so I started kind of traveling where I started a game day WrestleMania fan club thing. And we've done it now, the few times in MetLife. We did it down in Tampa. We did it in Dallas. And I did it in Philly this year. So we kind of travel around for it. It's a great time. We get, a few hundred people, and we play the DJ plays the different entrance themes, and we've got the cosplay contest. Let me tell you something. The cool thing about it, not to get too far into the wrestling thing on the show, but the cool thing about it, man, is these fans. You get a lot of these kids and these young people who I think they're a little bit they're the outsiders. They're the ones that kind of get a little picked on, whatever, and they spend all year saving up their money because there's a lot of events that week when WrestleMania comes, and they travel out there. They do every event, whatever. And a lot of them are they'll message me hey, I'm coming alone. Is that weird if I come to the tailgate party, whatever? I said, no. I said, it's perfect. You're going to make friends because there's a whole bunch of you here at this party.
Right. Yep.
So they come, and now I see them come back. They formed groups. They formed friendships and they're things that carry on past the party. And so it's really kind of cool to see, these young people, these kids, these fans that, are a little marginalized, find kind of come into their own and find their thing, and then kind of grow with what I'm doing. So it's pretty cool.
That's also, first of all, the question for you is, how'd the grass look at MetLife for soccer?
It looks great. You know,
They should keep it.
It looks less dangerous.
No, but that's the cool thing about even your tailgate. We'll talk some Jets too, but like if you're going to the game by yourself, a lot of people take the bus or they take the train, whatever else to get there. It's like, you know what? You don't want to carry all your stuff on there.
No.
It's like, dude, just buy a ticket for your thing, sit there, and it's like great food, great people, everybody's welcome. It's a good time of music. It's a perfect setup, man.
It's literally why I started. I started back in 2009, and I started at Tailgate Joe because there was no Tailgate Joe.
Right.
There wasn't,
that.
you know, there had been like 16H had their thing for a while, and then and Randy like decided he wasn't doing it anymore, and it was not like he hadn't embraced like kind of technology for people. Like you had to know about it, right, to kind of be there. And so I felt this is, I had been out in that lot doing what I do since '98, and this, there's a lot of people that would enjoy this, that really want to do this but can't or don't want to because they live in the city, whatever, like you said. Yeah. And so I just started it, and it kind of grew from there. And it's been really cool now. I see like, I see people that came with like their kids, and you came with this kid who was like 10 years old, and now the kid's 20 years old, 25.
Awesome.
Families have kind of grown now in coming to Tailgate Joe. As a matter of fact, we actually had a Tailgate Joe conception. Dude, I post a video of some girls dancing up in my truck. Mm-hmm. And a friend messages me, knows the girl, and says, "Bro, she's like pregnant." And it was that night after that party that they went and they had a kid. Like,
that's outstanding.
I just saw them at a bar last night. They're going to bring the kid to a game, and this year, and it's going to be pretty cool to get the photo. That's like the Tailgate Joe baby, like the first one that I know of.
That's outstanding. So we'll cover a couple of things. The Jets this year, it's a must-win year. So high expectations for the games, for tailgate, everything else. But what was your mindset at the end of last year? I think we were all crazy disappointed with the Aaron Rodgers injury, the way Zach played, the way the team kind of fell apart in different areas. They ended on a high note, beating the Patriots, but it was like you walked in expecting like a run through the playoffs. You leave no playoffs and some questions. Like, how did you feel before even free agency in the draft? How did you feel with the Jets like at the end of last season?
Well, I guess the one silver lining to what happened, I guess you could say, is that it went south instantly, right?
It's true.
4 plays in, I hadn't even gotten to my seat yet. And so we went from like, being in the lot before that game, we're up here and we're like, yeah, to 4 plays in, boom, we're at the floor. Like, that's it. The season's done. And so anything from that point on that was positive was like a bonus, right? And like there was some bad play, there was some bad games, there was some bad football, but there was some solid moments there. We won some games that we beat some playoff teams. There were some games that even if we didn't win, there wasn't many where we got blown out, where we couldn't have won or shouldn't have won, right? And that was with terrible quarterback play. And so there was a lot there to be excited about once you were resigned to the fact that like the worst possible thing could happened, right? At that point, like there was no illusion. No one thought, but remember, as we got into like November and December, there were these talks of like, well, the Jets could still get into the playoff. If they are, they're going to pull Aaron Rodgers out of that, like, that unborn baby stem cell bath that they were giving him, right? And put him out there. And so there was still, on some level, it was possible, right? So that tells you that it wasn't as bad as it could have been,
right?
And so we've got some young stars, man. We got some young stars to look at, to watch, and to cheer for and be excited about. And some of them they're still working on their rookie contracts. We haven't even had that problem yet. So there was some glimmers there. I still enjoyed the season. We had a ton of people that showed up. I had friends from all over the league that came to join us in the lot. It was still a really fun season.
Yeah, to me, it was just it was just frustrating, man, because you had the could has, the should has. So you have that where you're like the end of the season with some questions, especially with Hackett and the quarterback. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
they go in the free agency and they make some splashes where you're like, caught me completely by surprise. Like Tyron Smith, surprise. Morgan Moses, surprise. Mike Williams, surprise. You're like, all right, because I was kind of down on the team. Not gonna lie, I was kind of down. Like I wanted Hackett fired, but I'm like, they're not going to do that because he's Rodgers' guy. I'm like, what can they get in free agency with the limited cap space they have? they go out and make moves. You're like, oh shit! Like
and they were slow to start.
Yeah,
like it came out and they were like, yeah, they're not doing anything, They did something. Like, you know,
yeah.
You're right. It was a total surprise this year. It wasn't like years past where it's like the floodgates open as soon as, like Rex Ryan going and driving down and grabbing, Leonard and Bart Scott at the moment free agent. It wasn't like that at all. So, but yeah, like you said, I think they made some moves, especially with the restrictions they were under.
Yeah, so you have, a solid free agent class. You go into the draft, you add some pieces there where it's like, all right, if you look at the team last year, they were, in the eyes of everybody, a quarterback away. We're getting one of the best quarterbacks to play the game coming back. And you also have Tyrod Taylor behind him. So it's like, all right, Joe Douglas actually learned his lesson. We're going to have a backup quarterback this year in case Rodgers does get banged up, that we can overcome that. So you have more confidence there. You have more confidence in your offensive line. Now my question for you, I know you're a real positive dude, but I'm trying to get little deep with you here.
I hear you.
But like, do you have faith in Hackett now with Rodgers there? Rodgers kind of being his deodorant. Like, listen, I'm going to get you out of bad play calls. I'm going to audible. I'm going to throw the ball where I know it needs to go. If you're calling me bad plays, like, do you think Rodgers is a good deodorant for Hackett, where this offense can reach, top 15 in the NFL?
Well, look, let's look at it this way. Hackett is only there because Rodgers wants him there, right? True. I mean, he would not be there if for that case. And so whether the guy knows what he's doing or knows to get out of the way for Rodgers, he knows that's what Aaron Rodgers wants. Okay. Right. And Aaron Rodgers has been around long enough and has had enough success, even up until the very end, right? Was it the year before his final year? He was MVP or something like that. Like
21, I think.
I mean,
he's still good though.
Right. He's had success. So I'm going to assume that guy knows what he wants and what will make him successful. And if that's, Hackett and the plays that Hackett calls, or what he lets Rodgers do in the huddle, then that's fine. I think if Rodgers is not there, it's a different story. And I don't think Hackett would have been there to begin with, and I don't think he'd be there today. Look, man, I remember that name is kind of cursed with Jet fans, right? So Old Stadium, too, just as an aside, Old Stadium. I was in the corner, 3 rows from God at the top of the stadium, and there was the box was right above us. Remember that box up there?
Yep.
Right. And I had one guy that would sit in front of me, and I swear to God, for like 4, he would just turn around after every bonehead play, every draw play, Curtis Martin into a wall. That guy would turn around in front of me, would stand up, turn around, and scream, "Hackett! No more draw plays!" He did it after Hackett left. It was like Hermdinger, I think, or something. After
Hermdinger, yep.
He was still screaming at Hackett. I swear to God, that name just I'm shell shocked from that name. So
me too.
Yeah.
Bro, we used to do drinking games. We used to do drinking games with Hackett. Every draw play, we had to pound the beer because we're just drink. Man. Here we go, drink, and it was like, and you knew you could predict it too. Like you knew when it was coming. Second 11, give me a draw play. Third and 9, draw play. You knew it every time.
It's like, what's the worst play you can call right now? That's what he's going to call. Boom. No. So yeah. So back to your question, I think I'm fine with him just because he would be gone if Rodgers didn't want him. He would be gone. So whether he's there because he calls the plays or he lets Aaron do what he's got to do, it doesn't matter to me because it's what Rodgers wants, and Rodgers is good enough to know.
Yeah, I mean they're all in on Rodgers. When you trade for him, it's his show. He's running the show. He's facing the franchise. He's your leader. But now my question for you is this: a year older, didn't play last year. What's a realistic expectation for Rodgers? I mean, last year everybody's like, you know what? He could be in the MVP. He could be a top 5 quarterback. To me, it's like I know he wants to do that and he's committed to doing that, but I don't think he had the chance to do that. I think they're going to feature Breece Hall, run the ball a lot, but I think he's still capable of being a top 10 quarterback. What's realistic to expect at this point in his career?
I mean, what's realistic to expect from a guy who was walking on the field, 2 weeks or something after his Achilles got blown? So, like, okay, what's reasonable to expect from that guy?
True.
Like, seriously. I think with Breece, I'm sorry about that. I think with Breece, it's going to be like Saquon after his injury, right? Mm-hmm. He had that year where he came back and he did okay, but that following year he went off. And I think that I think that's going to be the case with Breece. I was saying that all along last year. I was like, it's going to be next year. It's going to be next year.
Yeah.
And I think Breece can be the best running back in football, especially if there's a decent quarterback there. They short up the offensive line a little bit. when you've got Garrett Wilson, you've got Mike Williams. I'm excited for Corley. I know I'm probably jumping ahead on all your questions.
No, you're good.
When you have all those pieces, like there's only so many people for the defense to guard, right? To take care of. So I think that, there's too many. I think there's too many pieces there. I think it gives Rodgers a great opportunity. I think it gives him as good or better of an opportunity than he's had for a long time when he was in Green Bay. And so, I'm really, look, man, I am a homer. I am a fanatic, right? That is what a fan is, a fanatic.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think there's reason to be.
Yep. No, I mean, like, we get these questions all the time where it's like, especially now barbecue season, everybody's having a couple beers and they know me. Let's talk some Jets. I'll talk Jets with you. And they're like, what do you think? I'm like, win the AFC East. Oh, yeah. Bro, how many beers have you had? I'm like, no, usually I see the same thing every year, but they have legitimate talent on both sides of the ball. Like,
who's going to stop us in the AFC East?
That's it. And like, listen, I respect the Bills. The Dolphins are good, but the Jets on both sides of the ball, you have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. On the defense, Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams. This is probably the most talented Jets team they've had on both sides of the ball since 2010? Being honest, seriously, dude, because usually it's one-sided. Like the offense would be decent, defense would suck. Yeah. Defense would be great, offense is putrid. If things work out, if you get a healthy Mike Williams and Corley contributes with Breece Hall playing at an all-pro level, Garrett Wilson like a Pro Bowl receiver, dude, this team's legit. Like I said, like on paper, and you can't really argue about it. These are just facts with talent. Finally,
to your last point about when's the last time the Jets have been this talented? Like at the offensive skill positions, I don't know that they ever have been in my fandom.
Yep.
I mean, think about it. Even 2009, 2010, they didn't have receivers like we do now. When's the last time they drafted a first-round receiver?
Well, they had Decker and Marshall in 2015.
Yeah, but those guys were already. I mean, I love Marshall. I love Brady. Look, I love B. Marsh. But they were already they were kind of cast-offs, right? When we got them, especially Marshall. They were, Braylon Edwards, Marshall, Decker, Santonio, Plax. I mean, these were all cast-offs. These were guys that were at the ends of their career, right? We haven't drafted and have these guys like this. Now, to my point before about who's beating us in the AFC East. Now, everyone's, the Bills. Go back and look at what we've done against the Bills over the last few years.
Beating with Zach Wilson.
The season, I mean, we match up well with the Bills, right? I mean, we match up. I mean, look, with Mike White with half of his ribs cracked in the snow in Buffalo and dragging Joe Flacco out there, who did not want to be on that field.
Nope.
We should have still beat them.
Yep.
I mean, we match up well with the Bills. The Bills just don't scare me. I think that Josh Allen, I think there's a lot of hype there.
I think it's awesome.
I don't want to be a hater because I'm a Jet fan, whatever, but I just think there's a lot of hype on Josh Allen that maybe is a little misplaced. But I don't see the AFC East being the challenge. I mean, we've got to. That's at a minimum, right? For me,
I agree.
And for us to get where we got to get, because we got to have home field advantage, and we can't have home field advantage without at a minimum winning the division. But I agree. I think the Dolphins are probably the team, right? But I still think that we can take them. The Bills
to me,
don't scare me.
No, I respect the Bills a lot. I love Josh Allen. I think he's a great quarterback. The Dolphins are an interesting team, but they haven't won anything either. They start off strong. You get them on the road, cold weather. What's Tua's contract going to be? I think this is why, for me, it's a perfect year for the Jets, where it's like the AFC is legitimately up for grabs. Patriots are done. The Jets have got to sweep them. So the opportunity is staring them in the face. So you look at offense, plenty of playmakers. Mike Williams is the key for me, though. You got to hope that he's ready by week one. If he's not ready by week one, don't force him. Don't rush him in. Get him healthy by week 3, week 4. But then you look at the defense, and the defense, I think they had to play perfect for the last 2 years. They couldn't make a mistake because they made a mistake. We lost.
Right.
Now they're going to be playing with the lead. They can be 10 times more aggressive, get a lot more turnovers. They may not be statistically the same, number 3 defense in football, but they're going to be awesome, dude. Especially with Reddick now. I mean, they're going to be flying around making plays, and they have wiggle room for the first time in forever where they can actually take some chances and make big plays, So the defense could be super exciting this year.
Agreed. 100% agreed. And, we need to be able to score 28 points at a minimum a game if we're going to win.
You think that many? I think 22, 21 we're winning games.
But the thing is, you look at the league, right? The way I'm not saying because our team needs to score. I'm saying to be successful in this league, you need to score that much because it's a scoring league, and there's some really good quarterbacks, and the AFC's got some high scoring teams. And so to not run your defense ragged, that the defense has to hold you to less than a touchdown for us to win. Yep. And that's really what's happened over the last 2 years, right?
100%.
I mean, it still blows my mind. That one Patriot game where they never even scored an offensive touchdown and they beat us, right? No, but that's just what our offense is. But we have an offense now that we can score like 28 or more points a game, Give me an offense that scores 30-some points a few games this season. I mean, it'll be a game changer,
No, exactly. And you have very good special teams. So it's like you look at this team, it reminds me going back to the 98 year when you had except for the coaching staff, because the coaching staff, you can't match up with this. You can't go from Parcells, Charlie Weiss, Bill Belichick to Saleh, Hackett, Ulbrich. But in terms of talent with the veteran leader, you have Testaverde, Keyshawn, Corbett, Curtis Smart, all these guys. So there's a lot of potential here. But my question for you is that coaching staff, where I'm not the biggest Saleh guy. I thought he talked the part in Hard Knocks last year, but when push comes to shove, I think he comes up small. I think he gets eaten up. He gets eaten alive by the losses in the media and just all the stigma of losing sometimes, and just I don't know. Do you think he's overwhelmed by the job? What are your thoughts on Saleh? Do you think he's just his biggest excuse was he's a quarterback away? And to me, I don't like that excuse. I think you can still find ways when other coaches have done it. We saw it Stefanski last year and other coaches all throughout the NFL. Are you a Saleh guy or no?
I like the guy, and I've heard, I've heard some really good things about him.
He's a great person. He's a great person. He's a gentleman. He's a great person, family man.
He is. And so I want to, from the things I've heard, I've been lucky enough to kind of in other circles in life be able to rub shoulders with a few people from Jets front office positions or NFL front office positions, actually. And they have just nothing to say about great things about the guy. So I just want to root for him. I was in the inner circle at the draft this year, and I was sitting with his brother, right? It was a real nice guy. So I want to really root for the guy. I think it's been a little, it's been tough, right? It's his first gig as head coach. The quarterback has been a problem, and that's a problem. It just is. Yep. And he's not an offensive guy. And so I don't know that, he's got a way to really recover if he doesn't have enough of an offense there. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is he's the coach we got. And I don't think he's going anywhere this year.
I got a question. Are you going to ever go into politics, man? Because you're dancing around these questions.
Well,
it's just funny. It's just funny as shit.
Yeah, I like the guy, and I root for good people, man. And I think where we are in life beyond football, there's not enough good people, and good people should succeed. And so I want to see that for him. Obviously, I want to see it for the Jets. Like they said, it's tough to win, man. When your quarterback is just not. There's no quarterback play there. There just hasn't been.
Listen.
It's a team sport at the end of the day, so much so more than any other team sport. And without that quarterback, just nothing happens, and it bleeds to the other areas of the team as well. It bleeds to the defense. It bleeds to the special teams. So
yeah, I mean, you're definitely a politician. I think. Okay, I'll give you this question. Do you agree if they don't make the playoffs this year, he should be fired?
Yeah. Well, the issue is Aaron Rodgers. The issue is Aaron Rodgers, right? Because how tied are they to Aaron Rodgers? Beyond this year, if they don't get to the playoffs, and does that enter into changing up a quarterback? I think he's going to call a lot of the shots, Yep. I just do. But I see that. But yeah, look, and I think obviously if there's no problem with Rodgers and there's just a collapse and the team is just a disappointment, for reasons that we don't see why they should be, then yeah, there's got to be consequences for that for sure.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And like, listen, we're all like you said, we're all rooting for him because he's a good guy. He's embraced the Jets. He's been through hell since he's been here. You know, like it's just tough.
We won games that like we probably shouldn't have won this year, past year. Like we weren't a two-win team last year. You know,
yeah, bro. Like, but I can counter you. We also lost to the Falcons. We lost to Antonio Pierce and the Raiders. We lost to Brandon Staley and the Chargers. How many coaches did we lose to that got fired at the end of the season?
Yeah, yeah. But we beat some playoff teams too. But I get what you're saying. It's you know, it's tough to hold one guy, and you got to. We're all men, and they're men, and there's responsibility and accountability. But I mean, 4 minutes into the season, the guy that you built the whole, you know, and how much of the unprepared offensive line is his fault, and how much is it the fault of the front office in giving him what they gave him, and did he have any say in that? You know, like these are things that we don't really know.
Yeah, that's the one thing where like
it was a bad plan there was no backup plan at all.
Right, but see, like I think the Jets are very self-conscious about all the feedback and all the criticism they get in the offseason. So they try to address it, and he speaks to it. And the biggest thing was, you talked about it earlier, he's a defensive-minded coach, right? Yeah. He doesn't get involved in the offense. Now this year he's getting involved in the offense. And last year my biggest complaint was we would watch either Dwayne Brown or Mekhi Becton get torched on the left side of the line, and they wouldn't get any help. And I'm like, listen, I'm not no football genius, but I know if my left tackle's getting torched, I give him help, running back in the backfield, put it tight, like do something. And they wouldn't make adjustments. You ask him after the game, he's like, well, you know, got to watch the tape. No, in game, you got to see this kind of stuff. So now in the offseason, he said, you know what, I'm going to be a lot more involved in the offense. We're going to do. So now it's like he's basically wiping out all the excuses that they had over the last couple of years where it's like, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So it's like, so in your eyes, what would be a successful year for the Jets this year? What's considered like good year, solid, like I'm satisfied with it?
Oh, I think anything less than winning the AFC East is a huge letdown. I just think we have to win the AFC East. But I mean, it's got to be deep in the playoffs, right? And if we and a good showing, like if we don't win the Super Bowl, like I don't want to feel like we got blown out in any of those games leading to it. You know, like I want to see a fight the whole way there.
Yep, 100%.
You know, that's really, you know, there is super high expectation. Look, there was high expectations last year, okay, and something happened. But if you look at free agency, if you look at the draft, like we're in a position where good teams are, and where we haven't been in a long time when we're drafting and we're going through free agency, where it's like we can go for the guys that we need, and we're not reaching, and we're now like in a comfortable spot where we're picking the players we need just to augment what we've got and to get to that next level, right?
Yep, I agree.
So, yeah, you know, we just got to keep building that momentum. But you know, there's a short leash because of Rodgers, right? And we don't have, in that regard, we don't have a good backup plan still long term. Maybe, maybe Tyrod, whatever, is good for, you know, this year as a backup, but that's not a long-term solution. And they haven't, you know, even thought about that or
the kid they drafted, they're kind of hoping for. He's a project too. Like you got to hope he gets healthy. But you're right. It's like next year. Well, I think Tyrod's got a 2-year deal. So if Rodgers leaves this year, you could have Tyrod and Travis next year. But you're right. Then it's like, you know what? We're back into finding our quarterback again, finding a quarterback, finding a coach. So it's, you got to win now.
And we're there with all of these great talents coming up for new contracts.
Yep.
Right? Yep. I mean, dude, it's going to be brutal when like that whole draft class, right? Sauce, Garrett, Jermaine, Brees. I mean,
got to pay him.
Yeah, and then all at once, because I mean, look, it's the result of a hugely successful one draft, right? So they're all coming up at once. So it's going to be tough. And so, yeah, this is a very short window in ways that some people aren't even mentioning, like that. You know,
100%, dude. This is it. This is your window. This is the best quarterback you're going to have right now, the best team you have right now. And then a lot of pieces could be DJ Reed could be gone next year. Conklin could be gone next year. Like you don't even know. Yeah. And Joey, I saw this question a couple of times. Reddick's playing, dude. Reddick's not showing up because he has no guaranteed money. I'm sure by the time training camp comes, they'll guarantee some money, get him in camp. he's not going to lose out on $15 million. He'll be there.
No.
I'm not worried about him. And if it's like a little early holdout, he'll definitely be there, man. He wants to play and he wants to make money. So nothing's guaranteed there.
The rules just don't let anyone hold out anymore.
Yeah, no, especially when you have no guaranteed money, man. You're like, you got to, like, you want to get something. Like, now it's just, you don't want to get hurt. You get hurt, you're not playing, you're not getting paid. So I don't blame him at all. I agree with you about, to me, it's like they've got to make the playoffs, but I'm in the same boat you're in where it's like AFC East is it. Like, that's where my starting point there. Win a playoff game, get, and then take your chance to be where you're at. But that should be what everybody expects. Anything less than that, I'm disappointed. If they win 9 games and they're struggling, this is with Rodgers, then you're like, man, what, like, we're never going to get over the hump now. Because like you said, next year, like, you can't, to me, it's not a 2-year window. We can't guarantee anything next year. And we don't even know what Rodgers is going to do. Rodgers may say, you know what, we won 9 games. I played great. That's good enough for me. I'm going to go into politics. I'm going to go do something else. Like, there's no guarantees coming back next year.
Yeah. My wish is that, like, we go far, we win it all, or we come real close, and he sticks around another year just so that, we can get someone else in the building to sit behind him for a year.
Yep.
But, I don't know that, I don't know what, I know that it seemed like originally he was trying to do that with Wilson, right? Yep. That was his, like, game plan. And that didn't work. I don't know if that's something that he's going to want to take on again.
Yep. No, I agree. All right. So we talked Jets. We're both excited. I can't wait for the season now. The most important thing is I love home openers, dude. I have missed a home opener probably, dude, it had to be 25 years. I missed a home opener. I love it. I was at yours last year, and the food, the cool thing about like talking with you is we've been friends a long time.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm saying shit just to help you out. Like, I've literally been your tailgate a zillion times, and I love it. And everybody that came last year, we had a lot of people last year that showed up, was we were playing beer pong. And the cool thing is we show up, you get your wristband, and it's like beer's over here, and there's an enormous line of all the food, all the grills and stuff. Dude, it's awesome. It literally, your food is like next level good, and the vibe is cool. Like, it's not like sometimes you go to tailgates, it's kind of clicky, or you kind of feel like, oh, it's not really comfortable. Yours, dude, it's like family oriented, and everybody's just chill. It's like, like we at one point ran out of ping pong balls, and I was like, Joe, you're gonna kill me, man. Bro, relax. I got ping pong balls for you. Like, dude, everything is just so easygoing and well organized, man. I legitimately love your tailgate.
Thank you. Look, man, it's it is a labor of love. I started it in 2009 just to kind of, like I said earlier, there's people that would want to have this experience, but just can't or don't want to deal with that hassle of it. And I just felt like, there's people that would like it, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of get on my soapbox a little, do some charity, do some awareness. We talked about some, I got up on my tailgate. We talked about, some real issues last year. Let's just take a minute or two just to kind of, we're having a great time, but look, guys, just, talk about this or that for, 5 minutes. So it does good, you've got all this, you got these super fans, right? And for, most people think of like, super fan and what that means is like, getting in the costume and being on TV on, in the stands and leading the chant and all that stuff. And that's what it is for sure. I express my fandom, my super fandom through my hospitality, through my game day hospitality, through sharing, my passion with other people. And, I'm an Italian kid that grew up in Staten Island, and we grew up around the table, right, in the kitchen, right? Yep. And my house was always the one that all my friends came to on holidays at the end. And, we'd pull all the leftovers out of the fridge. My house was the one we do the barbecue at, that was where, and I just enjoy hosting, it's just what I'm into, yep. I enjoy it. And so that's how I express my game day fandom.
Bro, it's like I said, like I've been to a ton of tailgates all over the place, and yours is it's so well organized. And the really cool thing about where you are is where you're located too, man, because a lot of people that are on our channel are coming in from out of state, out of the country. They're taking the train in. They get to the state and like, where the hell do I go? I don't know where to go. And tell everybody where your location is, Duke. It's perfect, dude. It literally is.
We're in the back corner of E26.
Yep.
And so we're back there. No one bothers us. We do our thing. And it's like a nice kind of spaced out area, and look, I'm a Jet fan. This is a Jets game day fan club. I'm not there for giant games. I'm not there for, I'm not doing any of that stuff. It's just something that grew as just a hobby. And, it's what I do with my family, and everyone gets to tag along with what I'm doing for my friends and my family. And everyone's become friends and become family. I've formed friendships with people, and I have people that come with, like I said, that come with their kids, and I've seen kids grow up. I've seen, I've had my niece and nephew that started out, they're in the stroller behind the food table, and now they're helping me. My nephew is going to be a senior in high school, and it's just it's a pretty cool thing that it's kind of grown and evolved, in that amount of time.
No, like I said, your food, man. Like I told you, like we had a bunch of people went to your tailgate last year for the home opener. Everybody's like, holy shit, you weren't kidding, man. I'm like, yeah, these burgers, there's this, there's that, and it's different themes each week. It's just like, it's for the money, especially now with the cost of everything, just getting to the stadium and having to carry the coolers and the grills and all this shit. For me personally, it's like, you know what, dude? I'd rather not do that. I'd rather like wake up, go to tailgate, go hang out with you, eat, and away I go.
It's really just, just defraying the costs of doing it, right? Because like with what things cost these days, it's not, it's not $100 thing. And I am a invited talent and competitor at New York City Wine and Food Festival, Burger Bash, and other events. Like I take the cooking serious. I take the food serious. It's my passion. That's what I do. So I appreciate when there's a lot of gratitude when I hear people, speak highly of it the way you are here. I really appreciate that.
No, of course. And now the cool thing is you do things at MetLife, but a little birdie told me, maybe a big birdie told me that in Nashville, which is a game that a lot of Jet fans are going to. I mean, that's like, in Nashville partying, couple days chaos, and then the Jets Titans. You can't beat that. I heard there's a little thing going on with Tailgate Joe there.
Yeah. So, I do a lot of away games, right? I do a lot of, so when I go on away games, I've got a lot of friends across the league, different like super fans, and we're members of different organizations stuff. So I travel a lot. When I do an away game, I do one of three things. One is I just do Tailgate Joe there. I'll drag my trailer and, I'll do the whole party. And I've done that as far west as Dallas, as far north as Buffalo, and as far south as Miami, and everywhere in between. Other ways I do kind of like abbreviated things or like partnerships with like local guys. Mm-hmm. And then the third is I just kind of go as just a regular fan, and I just kind of go and see my friends and the parties they do at their games. So for this one, what we're doing is it's a whole weekend, right? Saturday night, I am doing I'm just putting the final details together. It should be nailed out in the next day or two. But it's going to be an awesome bar on Broadway Saturday night. It's not going to be any kind of ticketing thing or that. It's free. Come on out, all the Jet fans, every tailgate crew, every fan club, every group, every podcast group, everyone, every super fan. We want everyone there. I know I had messaged Ed, Fireman Ed, on Instagram, a few weeks ago. He's all excited for it. He said he's gonna stop by. I don't want to throw him out there, but
he'll be there.
I love that.
Me too.
I love that. I do. But I want to have everyone there, right? I want to show Nashville that the Jets have landed, okay, in Nashville, because we're gonna put it to them. So it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be Saturday night, and it's a good jump off for the whole rest of the night. I mean, Nashville's a party, man. It really is. There's gonna be live music. It's gonna be great. Sunday, I have a tailgate party set up at Blake Sheldon's bar.
Nice.
Old Red. It's right by the stadium. It's going to be 8 to 11, open bar, a whole bunch of like Southern food stations, live music. It's going to be a great time. It's ticketed. If you want like game tickets as well, there's like you can do the game package thing. I partnered with some friends of mine that I've known for 15 years that do these events. So it's going to be a really great time. I want to see everyone there. We're just going to make it green. And we've got the whole place. The whole place will be Jet fans, right? It's our party. And it's
our Muppets welcome. Oh, wait, didn't you said game tickets too? That's a nice package, dude.
Yeah, if someone needs game tickets, there'll be game tickets available as well. Like up or lower, they can choose what they want.
Really?
If you go to tailgatejoe.com/Nashville 2024, you'll see info there. I'm going to be updating that page through the week with more info, but it is there now. There is a link for the Sunday party if you want to register and get in on it. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, it is for us. So you can't – here's the deal. Nashville, they can't serve booze until a certain time, right? So nothing will be open. the private party, because it is a private event, a ticketed event, we are able to do that. And so we'll be there from the morning. So if you want to go and tailgate early in the morning and do things, this is how you have to do it. And this is the best way to do it, right? You're not going to deal with lines. You're not going to deal with crowds. But it is on Broadway. It is in the middle of everything. So towards the end of the party, you'll be able to spill out on the street and where, everything's going on. And it's a short walk to the stadium. So it really is, it's a cool opportunity. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to see everything, man.
So for everybody to get more information, tailgatejoe.com is the best place to go.
Yeah. And it's tailgatejoe.com/Nashville 2024. And if you follow me, especially on Instagram, right, Tailgate Joe, you'll see all this stuff. So definitely follow me. Anyone there who isn't following me, please do. Tailgate Joe, and you'll see a bunch of info there for that. Other parties and stuff we're doing this season as well. The home opener. Yep. I've got some, the Jets took care of me with 100 level tickets for the home opener. So if you don't have tickets for the home opener, doing my package is like is an affordable way to do it. It includes the tailgate party for what you would pay just for the tickets.
Yeah.
You get the tailgate party with us as well. And a cool one of my new 2024 hats, my Tailgate Joe 2024 hat. We'll be including that. So you can go on the website. You can see that. We're gonna have some fun themes this year. We're gonna be doing an Oktoberfest party for the Denver Broncos game. The Thursday night game against on Halloween is gonna be awesome. That's gonna be our glow party against the Texans. We got a lot of fun stuff going on this year, man.
So the question from Mike is Nashville the only away game you're doing?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see. I'm definitely gonna be traveling around the league during the season. There's going to be, I'm sure I'm going to go to a few Jet games, and there's probably going to be other games. I'm going to go see some friends as well. If anyone out there, right, is going to be traveling and, anywhere in the league, and, you want like a good hookup for, finding some good people to hang out with in the lot that are cool with visiting fans, whatever, hit me up on any of my socials. I can put you with people. It's kind of, I have a network out there, and I'm happy to kind of always make people a part of that.
No, it's awesome. Like I said, we've been friends a long time, and I wouldn't bullshit anybody. I was literally there last year for the home opener with you guys, and it was just like it was a great time, and it's just good people, man. Like everybody from our channel went there, we hung out, we played beer pong, ate food, drank beer, and it's a really chill vibe, dude. Everybody's welcome, all ages, kids, whatever, families, nobody cares. It's like a judgment-free zone. Just have fun. Opposing fans are there; they're cool. Like it's a really neat experience, man. Yeah, no, I see friendships and stuff forming every year. I've had I had also as last year I had a couple who I think they might have met at my tailgate party. They used it as the morning after their wedding, like as the the farewell party for their bridal party, right? Was
at my tailgate.
Nice.
So yeah, it's cool. You see all these things kind of go on.
All right. So for everybody, tailgatejoe.com is where they go. And then as the season gets closer, you come on again, dude, because we definitely want to promote the home opener because of tailgate. And then just keep. So how far in advance do people buy tickets for these? I know the home opener sold out last year, I think.
Oh yeah. Especially the tickets. The package with the tickets. Definitely look, if you do not have tickets, definitely, if you want 100 level, 124 down by me, definitely take a look at it. Because like I said, I didn't really put anything on it. It's just the tailgate, the game tickets, and I throw in one of these hats as well, like the Tailgate Joe 24 hat, which is pretty cool. Made in Queens, embroidered in LA, hood hat, really, really nice stuff. But yeah, come join us, man. It's a great time. The food's awesome. Yeah, we change it up we change up the menu all the time.
And don't wait till the last minute. People don't wait, because we got a lot of messages last year.
Bro, the stories I get on the as soon as I swear you can register right now. Okay. Yep. Between now and if it sells out 2 days before the game and you had all this time, I will get people that will email me these crazy stories. Like my 80-year-old father has never been to a Jet game and he's coming to town and his dream is always to go to a Jet game and go to a tail. I get crazy stories. I do.
Dude, we get it because we promoted it last year like crazy. It was, dude, the morning of, I'm getting messages, yo, how do I get a hold of Tailgate Joe? I'm like, it's sold out, dude. Like, there's literally nothing you can, like, we promoted this for months. Like, there's nothing we can do.
It's insane. Yeah. So no, definitely go on, register. Not every game is up there, but I'm the first few are, and I'm going to be putting the rest of them up. But the home opener definitely is.
Yeah, absolutely. So one more thing before we get this wrapped up, we got from Hennessy. Good one. Joe Douglas dropped the ball by not bringing a real backup quarterback last year. Facts. Yeah. We all know that. He made up for it this offseason. Balls in the Silas court. I agree with you. Sure. This is they got Reddick. They got Tyrod. They got Mike Williams. They got Tyron Smith. This team is ready to roll. So, but Joe, first of all, thank you very much for coming on. I know it's the summertime and definitely going to have you on again a couple weeks before like the season starts and go over the Nashville details, go over the home opener details and give updates on a tailgate. Because like I said, the Nashville package is awesome because ticket prices there are crazy too. And then to have a nice tailgate and have it organized where it's the cool thing about road trips like that is you're with all fellow Jet fans. It's like you walk into sea of green. It's a lot of fun. You're not kind of trying to find things. It's like one primary location where you can meet up and hang out and have a good time. So it's a really cool plan.
Look, man, I realize that, there's going to be a lot of Jet fans that are going to show up there and thinking like, we're just going to go down to Broadway and go to the bar at 8 or 9 in the morning. And no, you're not, because they're not allowed to be open on Sunday at that time. Yep. And so, this is the solution, and it's a good solution. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait.
There's no like tiered things with but the only like tiered thing is like if you want like a seat to sit, right? If you're like a little older and you need that, there's going to be seating, but like there's a tiered where it's like a guaranteed seat, which I don't know that you need that, but it's there. But it's just going to be a good time, man. Some good food, some open bar, and a lot of Jet fans excited for the game.
Yeah, and probably a must win too. So now I'm looking forward to it. So Joe, first of all, thank you for your time. I'll make sure I share all your stuff all over the place. Can't wait for the home opener. It's always a great time. And then like I said, a couple weeks before the season starts, we'll do it again. Definitely. Everybody, so it's what, at Tailgate Joe all over your social media?
Yeah, Tailgate Joe everywhere. Yeah.
Cool. Easy. That's easy enough, right? So we'll do that. Follow him, get information from him. And then thank you guys for joining us. And we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
Excellent. And let's get together down the shore for a drink at one of the bars, buddy.
100%, bro. Have a good night.
Take it easy, man.